Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Randy Adkins here. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I actually didn't do any Thanksgiving stuff today. My Friendsgiving was this past Sunday. My family Thanksgiving is this coming Sunday. So the main thing that I did today was watch the first two episodes of Hawkeye. But I hope if anyone did do Thanksgiving things that they went well. Um, I'm in my in room because I was gonna try to glamour over my sword, not thinking about the fact that despite the eye level of the sword I wanted to glamour over this being higher, um, also forgot to pull my microphone over. But despite the eye level of the sword being lower, the equip level was higher, so it wouldn't let me do it. But yeah, so we're gonna head out of here, and we are going to, I believe, go talk to Thancred. So, quick recap of last night's stream. Finished up Raktika Greatwood. I did, after stopping streaming, go around and get enough gems to buy the riding map for Raktika, so I did do that. But finished up Raktika, came back to the Crystarium, then had the sort of instanced duty encounter fighting all the Sin Eaters. It was very feels heavy, which is kind of what this expansion is known for. But it was a lot. But where's Thancred? Thancred is by the Aetheryte. Okay. It's over here. Oh, yeah. I'm all right, I think. My injuries have been tended to. You're here for me? I'm sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine, really. The Eater landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm more worried about Minfilia. She's not taken it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hortorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Chesamil, but just talk to her, will you? Let's go find Minfilia. Where is the Hortorium? It's down from here? I guess I could have gone here. Well, it appears as though I can't get there this way, so that's cool. Oh, the crystalline mean is the closest one. But I can't, like down here is where I can't go. Like right over there is where I was. Oh, I wonder if it's down by... Because Cabinet of Curiosity's down, right? Where is that? All the way over there. Oh, okay. Minfili appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke will get her attention. Eep. Oh, Rando, what are you doing here? Thancred. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless, and now it's my fault. You can make up for it, you know, by being there for him. Are you sure? I've brought him nothing but trouble thus far. And what if it's worse? Next time, all I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. I'm sure that he'll resent me for being this weak. Maybe he already does. But you're right. I can still help, if only by seeing these herbs safely to Chesamil. There are only 2 left on the list, but I'll need to ask about this one. I've looked high and low, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I would hate to delay any longer than I already have. You're looking for something with soft leaves that's very fragrant, in an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. We only need 2 sprigs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Chesamil. Whoever gets there first can explain that the other will be back shortly. Thank you. I appreciate the help. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to go smell some herbs. This plant has soft leaves and smells strongly medicinal. Okay, got it in 2. And back to Chesamil.
I asked someone who looked like they knew what they were doing, and they pointed me toward the herb I was looking for right away. I hope you didn't have too much trouble with yours.
I didn't. It's the first 2 I clicked on. I see you got roped into helping. Some things never change, eh?
Menfilia told me you'd be bringing the rest. Marvelous. With this, I can replenish our store of medicines. We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patients' faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. And we're still fighting it, I suppose. Though with bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win. I promise you that.
It seems that I owe you an apology for dragging you and you to yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few, with I don't know how to pronounce this word. With Spagirix in working order, the Crystarium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch.
You know the Exarch?
We do. Was there something you needed? I need you to tell him something. For me. My dearest friend, you see, he was there on the battlefield with me, but only one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wound killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Volthree said is true, if our losses were our just deserts, and we doom ourselves to worse by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, in the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong, and I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of night. That's how I want to remember him. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up. Don't give in. Please. We'll tell him. You have my word. It's so heavy.
And 78. No. If I was stronger, how many people would still be alive?
Oh, you cannot think that way.
Don't worry about the wounded, sweetie. We'll make sure they do not want for care. Thancred seems keen to quit the infirmary. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest armorer I can find, so we shouldn't keep you long. Be sure to pass on that message, eh?
I have to say, this music does not help how feelsy this quest is. The music is very somber. Ugh.
Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you, though I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. One of our soldiers said that? Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the lost, I will not lose myself to grief. And even should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. We have some time before the others arrive if you'd like to talk. And if I were to confess any doubts I might harbor, no one need ever know. No, I believe you have enough burdens without my adding to them. Nevertheless, thank you.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
Like, I hate how much I like him, but I like him a lot.
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, There should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That Valthry is a light warden.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Valthry.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Arm-Arang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Arm-Arang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
But you can see them.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Arm-Arang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do! I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
Poor dad cred. If this is the course you have agreed on, I will not object, though I am afraid it will be difficult to spare any of the guard to accompany you. I can but promise that you will be well looked after upon your return. Just see to it that you do return, all right? If I had only been able to locate Calusius Lightwarden, it might not have come to this. I can't imagine what Thancred must be feeling to behave this way. To say he's changed since coming here would be an understatement. He may as well be a different person. He reminds me of father. He argued with us for months about our plan to go to Eorzea, but in the end, he accepted our decision. I do hope he's doing well. First mention of Fortunal. Minfilia demonstrated impressive resolve just now. It seems that she understands what must be done, though I do wonder if she is truly prepared to make that choice. Should she falter, it will fall to Thancred to guide her, however much he wishes it were otherwise. Though Thancred hath long known whither this path doth lead, his journey hath brought him no closer to acceptance. Will you never grow tired of shuffling your feet? If you have something to ask me, ask. Tell me about Zodiark. As I told you before, Zodiark is the creation of my people, the First People. We summoned him as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. And like one of your primals, he tempered us. It was only natural, there is no resisting such power. And so we Ascians came to exist solely to bring about the rule of darkness, his darkness. Of course, some would call us evil for it, and they would be fools, though that is only to be expected given their innate inability to conceive of the nature of our universe. But I believe I am repeating myself. Do you not trust me to speak honestly? Do you hope to catch me in a lie? Really, I have no need of deception, and even if I did, I assure you, you would find it quite indistinguishable from the truth. I like Emmett Salk. Like, now I understand why so many people like Emmett Salk so much. And I haven't really, like, we're half-ish way into the story. I'm sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. Okay. To Tessellation. A slight shortcut. Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now. And you're sure you want to do this? Completely sure. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny, and I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw a Umoran airship coming in to land over Amareng while I was on my way back to the Crystarium, of course. No doubt the same vessel that bore Vorthri's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Right. Now, Nabathareng lies in the southern reaches of Amareng, and there are two routes we can take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us past Mord Suk. The other is the western route, which would require us to pass through the Hills of Amber. Menfilia and I took the eastern route last time. Yes, that is the more well-trodden path. It also makes it easier. It also makes for easier traversal of the Nabath Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we'd need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Ulmorans caught wind of our approach, it could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients, and we can be sure their activities would not meet with Vorthri's approval. It will make the journey more arduous, but I believe it would be faster and safer. I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Cliffs of Amber in the west, I will draw the Ulmorans' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way, you'll have a chance at reaching Nabathareng unopposed, and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny that it's a sound plan, nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. What? Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Vorthri's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best to follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a few Amaro for our journey. I leave the rest to you, Menfilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint. So if this is so this is Crystal Tower. If you head, what is it, north? No, which way is it? No, it's southwest. If you head southwest, you can get to Thanalan. And look, it's southwest. Gunnar. One of the voice actors' name is Gunnar. Do I still have? No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm thinking it's Bragi's voice actor. Yes. Bragi and Maxima. Their voice actor's name is Gunnar. Oh, Thancred's here though. Oh. We'll need to move quickly. The longer the others need to keep the Ulmorans busy, the more likely they are to be caught. Would that we all had thy surety of purpose. There you are. The gate leading to Amareng is just up ahead. In all the time I've been here, I've never ventured into the Hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Menfilia for me, would you? Who shall walk among... Let's see. Who shall walk among us upon our return, I wonder? What is that supposed to mean? Amareng lies just beyond the gate. We need only speak with the sentry. I'm ready. Let's go. Off so soon, Master Murasaki. You've barely had time to recover from the battle. We gotta go. Well, if you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on. For joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the Hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
Something that I haven't mentioned up to this point is I am the slightest bit annoyed every time they do the cutscene speed walk, which is slower than RP walking even. And it's just like, I don't know, it kind of takes me out of it because it's so slow and it has like zero sense of purpose whatsoever, because it's just like, just kind of wandering through here. I don't know. Anyway.
Sound though Mistress Alize's logic was, I fear the road less travelled hath other perils in store for us. A village so near, how convenient. This place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? But whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted.
Okay. I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing. Finding a village when we're blah, blah, blah. Reading is easy. Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes. But you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect from the road ahead. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Excuse me, sir. Oh, it's more moored. Okay, Zun Zun. What have you got to say? You sell, no? No, you are no merchant. But then why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Verbert gold. Such a coin purse cracking. You are already a legend among moored traders. You're a traveling merchant, then. Can you tell us anything of this village? Of course. Anything for valued customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So Master Gengen borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you must all be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Nabath Arang ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it? Oh yes, great difficulty.
The flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Nabatharang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some way. Do you think any of the other Mord might have some sort of hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free even, to friends of our best customer. Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Well then, best customer, let's see what information your reputation buys us. Okay. Okay, gone. For Nabatharang, airship is best. Nothing faster than an airship. The Umorans have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Though it seems somewhat superfluous to do so, you dutifully take note of Gongon's words. Because no thank you. Hello, Shulsul. Oh, that is a surprise. Not many bound for Nabatharang these days. Do you know of I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all of the settlements and mines in the Hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but it also prevents it from being of much use. Take down the information regarding the trolley on a wrinkled piece of parchment before stuffing it unceremoniously back in your bag. Okay, real. You wish to go to Nabatharang, hmm? There was a way once, a gondola down from the cliffs. But it was built for those who had left something behind that they wished to retrieve. Now there is nothing left and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt its rusted wires would bear your weight. Ah, Rando. I'm afraid I've learned little of use about how to reach Nabatharang. The Umoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though their army is definitely in Amarang, there have been no sightings of Umorans at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign of that Alize's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck in finding us a route forward? So these are our options. Well, what do you think? Yeah, the gate aside, the trolley seems the most feasible. It does seem to be the least risky of our options, and I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zunzun can offer more insight. Oh, valued customers. Where are the other mode of help? Of a fashion. They told us of a trolley that runs to Nabathareng at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason you did not do so yourself when we first asked? Yes, the gate, you see. It is impassable. Before, there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Biran, to Mount Biran Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. If you see miners there from time to time, I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what happened to the Talos, it would be them. Thank you. You've been a great help. We're off to Mount Biran then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. It's over there. Mayhap the pole of light is the root of this land's desolation, or mayhap a fault lies with man and his insatiable greed. What a sight. Oh, pardon me, it's a bit daunting, isn't it? The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. Now we only need to follow it until we come to the mines. What's up there? Oh, I'm here. Okay. Yeah, so it's that way. It's a little interesting that the gnomes, like dwarves in the first, should more, I guess, in more mainstream fantasy would be more similar to gnomes, and that's called a gnome, and it's almost more of a troll. But let's talk to Minfilia. This lever can't have been designed for a person to operate. Where is... I don't see Urianger. Oh well, we'll just talk to Thancred then. A bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zun's mysterious miners to appear, or we could have a look around and see if we can deduce anything useful in their absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Urianger's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. Flecks of rust adorn the rails, but they nevertheless appear sturdy enough to bear the trolley without issue. Oh. Well, looky here. This one doesn't tell me it's down below, so... Don't see any points of interest to click on. Oh, here's a trolley car. The benches within suggest this must have been a passenger car. Oddly enough, though, it is clearly old. It appears to be well maintained. There is another one over here. Oh, is it this big thing that I saw in the... It's not. Oh, is it inside this building? It must be. Conspicuous Cup. The cup is slightly warm, and a fair amount of tea, steeped over long if the color is any indication, remains within. So we have to go talk to Urianger. Yeah, there's several of those things incapacitated around here. What would it... Oh, I just have to not be targeting something. I was a little bit confused. Urianger is over there by the big golem. Ah, Rando, what hast thou discerned? I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Ample evidence of recent maintenance and lukewarm tea besides. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them, that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, we would still have no means of propelling it. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must, otherwise why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? Rando, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses in the on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves if necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go then. Wicked White, where did you come from? No, never mind that. You have no business here, of that I'm sure. Apparently I'm just gonna kill him all the way. Where did he go? feel a bit bad for them.
They elected to take up arms against us, though the outcome was plain from the first. Good to hear. These two weren't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves.
Us? We're not the brigands. We're not the brigands come to take what isn't ours.
Do we honestly look like we're here to steal? We'd need to steal what? Some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you.
A likely story. You look, well... You don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Thaffy, I have an idea. What if once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of a lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants, sworn to follow her unto the world's end. On their journey they met a sorcerer as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow. I can only assume you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event that that's a serious conjecture, no, I suppose I am a bodyguard of a sort. But we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Though I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Of course you would. Gods grant me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Nabath Areng. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again...
The trolley? The trolley?
You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training, in fact. Jarek and Thaffy, at your service.
Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work. But our true passion is in the trolley.
We're working with a few other folks to get it up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true that there's little in need of transport these days, but that's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling on the track once again would make hearts sore, mark my words.
You'll hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far?
Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Well, is there anything we could do to assist you? We could gather materials or help put pieces together.
It's a sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you'd like. We'll introduce you. Very well. Our options are limited, so if this Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it.
Right. Looks like you'll be following us back to Twine then. Dost thou seek the sorcerer's wisdom, young one?
Who says Urianger doesn't have a sense of humor? Look at this.
A quest for lost love? Perhaps that could have been me had things been different. Come to think of it, Urianger always was fond of fairy tales.
The weird word order gets me.
To be honest, I'm impressed that you thought of the trolley to begin with. So few seem to these days. Too used to living without it, I suppose. If you're ready, we can leave right now. Though, you haven't seen another fellow around here, have you? I thought he'd have come out by now. You think he'll be alright? That's, well, I suppose he did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look just in case. You go on ahead, Thaffy.
Oh, that was the other guy.
Alright, looks like it'll just be you lot and me then.
Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way out the rail yard. Okay, so are we just going to... Nope. Because this is... yeah.
Damn that smarts. Did you have to thump me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about it now though. I've pointed your overeager companions in the right direction and they've gone ahead, so we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, it's a more perilous route than I'm comfortable with suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low road presents other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that account.
So now can I just go to the town? Of course not. Why do I have to keep talking to this man?
Wait a moment. I think I hear something. Oh, that's something, all right. Run! Sorry about that. I admit, I didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident. That's quite a ways to the south. Oh, there's a lot of south. The town is small, but everything in it seems so purposeful. It's amazing. Odd to find a place like this still occupied. It must have come dangerously close to being consumed by the flood. A testament to man's resilience that civilization may yet be found at the very edge of the world. This is it. Welcome to Twine. The original dwellings were built to house those laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you've doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town, back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines, for that matter. The only residents that remain are the destitute and delusional, and those with nowhere else to go, or so they say. That should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. Well, that's encouraging, but I don't see that we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. These actually are a lot of Nordic names. What are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you. Wicked white. If you're going to bother me, at least have the damned courtesy to stand still. Methinks this one is deep in his cups. These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabatha Ring, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabatha Ring. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabatha Ring. I must. Bah. So you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin, nothing more. And you're not getting there on the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to Nabatha Ring. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No, I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. Stubborn ass. I sense there is more to this belligerent drunk than his tale. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak. And he's right. But I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents. They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger. It's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is not for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That, at least, I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our inquiries. Gemstone trader. I don't have enough right now. 50. I'm not too far off. I need 1 fate plus 1. Anyway. Oh, it's Jarek. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble, and he's just fine. He was a bit shaken up is all. And you? What did Magnus have to say? Well, he yelled at us and told us to go away. Ah, I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him to action where our interest has not, but I suppose that was foolish of me. I am sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here, if you like. You could give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. You mean to say you're not giving up? Even knowing that Magnus is... Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though. Though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what the situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. I can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you are certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that is in need of repair. You bring the tools and be ready to hand them over whenever I stop to work. Okay, this is interesting. This spot looks like it could use a bit of work. Can you ready the tools for me?
You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within.
Brilliant. Now, if you could hand me what I need as I work, that would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose. For one matter, we can't have that. I'll need to tighten it.
All right.
Thank you. This one will do nicely. Now give me one moment and...
This is a weird minigame.
There, I don't see any other problems here, so let's continue along the track.
This is a weird minigame. Why couldn't I just walk on the tracks over there?
I'm a bit concerned about this lantern post. Would you ready the tools for me? You're quite handy to have around, you know. As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if, by some miracle, night returns as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, a bit of the post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. I haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now, unless you'd like to take a view of the tracks from here for a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Mining has always been a primary vocation of folks in the Hills of Amber, you see, but after a certain point, they had dug everything that could easily be reached and carried it back by manpower alone. It was then that the Nabath Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Nabath brought the Mistal engineers who specialized in Talos here to the hills, and wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales of the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistal. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistal left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. But there's no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the tracks, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. Excuse me. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Ooh, almost jumped off. How am I supposed to get back up there?
Apparently, going back to town. Got 2 more in the world ones. Yeah. Hmm. Well, it looks like I can't get there until I get this trolley going. Okay. An evil weapon. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talos are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley. Damn it. And those were the worst years of my life. But then, about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real, proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Amareng is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help in the end. The Sin Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus' trolley running again, so in his memory, they returned to Twine, started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars, and it was going well for a time. Wicked White? Vultures? Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out.
Nice work out there. And now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do you much good without the Talos, though. If there was even a single one that still functioned, things might be different. But, well, here we are. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change.
Well, hello, quick-witted scavenger.
Ah, my poor friends. Ah, my poor friends. Left to be eaten by horrid beasts. I feel terrible about running away, but what choice did I have? No point in us all being killed, now is there? Finding someone to go and retrieve the bodies, rescue them, would absolve me of the blame, yes? If you could go to the ruins of Kelk to look for 2 more scavengers, I would be very grateful.
Logs. Sightseeing log. What number was that? 27. In days past, Nabatharang contracted a Talos engineer to establish its mining railway, and these cabins were built to provide lodgings for the laborers who would lay the trolley tracks. The settlement was later maintained as a miners' village, but its dwindling population has mirrored the steady decline of the mining industry. I need to get underneath here. Thou art come to examine the Talos?
Looks like someone's already beat us here, but please, look about as much as you like.
Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us. 'Tis true. But here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. 'Twill likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether.
Well, if you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you, but what exactly do you reckon is the problem?
I should stress
I should stress that I have performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures, which now impede said flow. How in the hells did you get all that info from just a glance? I take it you've thought up a solution as well, then? To bridge the fissures requireth a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that the stone from such a being would prove most suitable for our needs. Leave it to me. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Minfilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus I would ask you to provide 3 stones of the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Ooh. Those things. I am alive? Can it be true? But it is too early to celebrate. The youngest of our group is still missing. Please, you must find him. I will wait for you outside the ruins in case you need help carrying whatever is left of the poor boy.
Hello. Welcome to killing mobs and Shadowbringers. For Ether Current quests.
Phew. Does that count as a near-death experience? I cannot wait to tell my friends. But first, we should make a hasty retreat, yes?
They're honestly not that bad. I think they're less bad than the Stormblood ones, in my opinion. And so far, I haven't run into any ether currents where it's like, okay, you can see it up there, but to get to it, you have to go out and around this way and through this other area and over to here and then down here and then walk along there and then jump down to it. But don't miss, or you'll have to do all that again.
I cannot thank you enough for saving us. But how did you know we were here?
Another guy told me you were here.
Running away turned out to be the best choice. Not only did he escape, but he sent for help too. If he had tried to rescue us himself, we would probably all be dead by now. Better to run and scavenge another day, yes? I must remember to thank him.
Alright, so what do I have left? I have 2 more in the world and 3 more quests? Gross. What am I trying to do? Oh yeah, kill these rock guys up here. No evil weapon, go away. I do not have time to do this. There's only 2.5 minutes left. Well, I suppose I do need 1 extra. gem to buy my map. Come on, guys. Yeah, it was just like, oh, and then this AoE, and then this AoE, and then this AoE. Oh, I got 10 for that? Okay. I was expecting to get 1, and I got 10, so I'm not gonna complain. Like, fully doing it gets you 12. Not really. I think somebody came in earlier on YouTube and left a potentially snarky comment. But other than that, it's mostly been Michael and my brother lurking from time to time. Thancred and Minfilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the debitage? Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Minfilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require a sufficient endowment. Let's focus on people that aren't going to imbue it with ether. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuseth to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored.
So it was the heart after all.
Thou didst foresee this outcome?
Well, no, not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another, in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. All right. After all, you lot have done for me. I suppose it's the least I can do.
Okay. Thank you for giving me viewer. Though the Talos yet wants for a beating heart, it would appear thine efforts were not for naught.
I hope Jarek doesn't get in trouble for telling us what happened.
What could be so terrible he'd want to keep it from us? We're about to find out. Ooh, a weapon coffer. This is for a 409. That might be worth actually upgrading to.
Right then. The Talos. Their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry. But you'll have to... You'll have to hear it from Thaf or from someone else.
Back to the tavern then. Well, I think that he gave me enough information to know what happened. The fact that that was when she, and the fact that he said Magnus came back here with his wife, and his wife does not appear to be here, and Magnus is nothing but a drunk now. I wonder what could have happened. So what do I have for gemstones now, anyway? 67. I need 3 more. Are there any fates nearby? No, they're all over on the other side, of course. Ugh, there's also a... another quest. Usually the last quest is the end of the story for the zone.
Still here, eh? Still here, eh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... What? Gods damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing the Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think you may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem hearts started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows. But somehow, the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabath Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Why must he always treat me like this? I wish there was more we could do for you. I truly do. But after Agna's accident, no one is allowed near those mines.
Well, I have a feeling we're gonna go near those mines. Full well do I know the path of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thafi, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you, near all of the veins were tapped dry years ago. Though, I suppose if you really wanted to try, you might find something at Nuvi's leavings. It was opened well before Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guthyon and tell him I sent you. But don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Rando, I think it best Thancred join thee in this search. Though he wouldst be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil, and his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. Okay, well, I'm gonna go after this. Fate. Or else I just stops talking in the middle. I'm gonna go after this fate, try to get the last gems that I need to upgrade my speed in Amarang. And then I'm probably gonna call it a night. I'm getting pretty tired. I do have to work tomorrow. Again, I think I said yesterday, I am going to try to... I'm going to try to get as much as I can done in the quests over the weekend. Okay, so now I should have enough to buy the writing mat. I feel bad that I never talk when I'm fighting, but like especially now, like my brain has to focus or else I'm not gonna do well. Like when I'm tired like this. Okay, Armoring writing map, please. Thank you. Much better. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, a lead on the stone we need to power the Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. I'd say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvi's leavings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. Have you seen a charm like this before? I found it among the stones brought from the mine. A lot of the workers wear these for good luck, and I expect whoever lost it is wondering where it went. It's the first time I've seen one made from cat's eye, so the owner shouldn't be hard to track down. I'd go and look for them myself, but I've got too much to do here. Would you be able to go in my place? The graveyard keeper is quite knowledgeable about charms and whatnot, so it might be worth asking him. What's that you have there? A cat's eye charm. Ah yes, cat's eye charms like this were once used to ward off misfortune. The tradition began with the Church of the First Light, and the gem represents their patron deity. Even though no one follows that old religion anymore, some of its customs remain, especially among the miners. You don't see many this exquisite, though. I seem to remember the fellow with an eye patch kept a similar charm around his neck. It might even be the exact same one. I never caught his name, but he's not hard to miss. The last I saw of him, he was leaving to mine Nuvi's leavings with some of the others.
Okay. Okay. This is a sanctuary, so all right. So that is going to do it for me tonight. I don't know whether I will. I mean, honestly, I'll most likely be streaming tomorrow evening. I do want to try to get as much done as I can after work, or over the weekend, I should say. Next week, during the week, I am going to be working after work like I did on Monday and Tuesday, so I'll probably be pretty tired. Don't know how much I'll get done then, but I want to try to get through as much story as I can over the weekend. That's going to be it for me.